Today, we're going to break down one of the most important documents in any business, the sales order in SAP S4Hana. Now, I know it might sound a little dry, but this one simple step is the trigger for pretty much everything that comes after.
So think about it. It's a question every single business has to answer. A customer says yes, a promise is made, but how does that promise actually travel through the entire company to become a delivery, an invoice, and finally cash in the bank? The journey is definitely complex, but you'll be surprised to find out it all starts in one simple place.
That's right. The entire massive order-to-cash process, from the folks in the warehouse all the way to accounting, is set in motion by just one person creating one single document. To really get this, let's meet Sally. She's a sales rep, and she just closed a big deal. The customer's thrilled, she's thrilled, but now the real work actually begins. So Sally's job now is to take that verbal yes, that handshake, and turn it into something the rest of the company can actually act on. She has to create an official record that's going to trigger the entire fulfillment process. That's her core challenge. And the solution to her problem? You guessed it, the sales order. And let me tell you, this is not just some digital piece of paper. It's the key that unlocks the entire process. Let's see how it works. The sales order isn't just a note to self. It's more like the central nervous system for the whole transaction. It grabs every single piece of information needed and acts as the official starting gun for the entire sales process inside the SAP system. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that sounds like a ton of data entry for poor Sally. But this is where the real magic happens. Let's take a look at how the system turns a potentially huge task into something incredibly simple. Just look at this. It's so simple for Sally. To get this entire complex process started, she only needs to plug in 3 key pieces of information. Who's the customer, what's the product they want, and how many do they need? That's it. Seriously. And here's the contrast, which is just amazing. Based on those 3 little inputs from Sally, the SAP system just explodes with activity. It automatically pulls in all the customer's specific payment terms, it figures out the correct pricing, it checks the warehouse for availability, calculates delivery dates, tells the planning department what they need to get ready, it even prepares the billing info, all automatically. And this right here really drives the whole point home. All of that insane complexity we just saw, it's all handled by the system. And it's all triggered by just those 3 pieces of data from Sally. It is a perfect example of how a well-designed system can make someone's job so much easier and more efficient. Okay, so we've seen how easy it is for Sally to create an order, but what's actually inside that document? Let's peel back the layers and take a look at the different levels of information it's holding. The best way to think about an order is that it has 3 different levels of information, kind of stacked on top of each other. Each level gets a little more specific as you go down. So first up, we've got the header. This level holds all the information that applies to the entire document, things like the customer number. Basically, it answers the big question: who is this whole order for? Next, just below the header, you have the item level. Every single product the customer is buying gets its own line item here. So if they're buying, say, 3 different things, you're going to see 3 different items. This level tells us, okay, what exactly are we selling? And finally, at the most detailed level, each of those items has 1 or more scheduled lines. This is where we get super specific. It details exactly when a certain amount will be delivered. So for example, if an order for 100 widgets is being split into 2 shipments, you'd see 2 separate scheduled lines. This is the real confirmed delivery plan. So, Sally's created the order, and we know how the document is structured. But that's just the beginning of the journey. Now we get to see how that order creates a ripple effect through the company and triggers the next critical step: sourcing. Right, so the sales order doesn't just magically make products appear. What it does is act as an official request that gets sent over to the materials management team. It's basically saying, hey guys, we need to get our hands on this product for a customer, fast. And the system is smart. Based on the data for that material, it already knows how to get it. There are basically 3 main paths. The simplest one, just grab it from the stock we already have in our own warehouse. If it's not there, it might trigger an external procurement, which means sending a purchase order to an outside supplier. Or it could create an order for the company's own factory to fire up the machines and produce it in-house. Okay, let's zoom back out for a second. We've gone through the details of creating the order and how it kicks off sourcing. But why is getting this one single step right so incredibly important?
And this is really the crucial takeaway. The sales order is the linchpin. It's the absolute foundation for the whole process. As the slide says, it's the single source of truth. Think of it as the official translator. It takes the customer's wish and turns it into the company's language. Get it right, and the whole supply chain just flows beautifully. Get it wrong, and you'll see problems cascade all the way down the line.
So we've seen the perfect scenario, right? The order gets created, and the system just hums along, automating the next steps. But let's be real. Business is never that simple. What happens if a customer calls and wants to change the quantity? Or what if a delivery gets delayed? See, creating the order, that's just the beginning of the story. You know, we